Hi everyone, this is Kushal Shushmani and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about a very simple thing because my finger's broken, not really broken but cut right now. So I can't type a lot. I've been trying to avoid typing. So today I just wanted to talk a bit about context pilot, right? What we are trying to do and talk about the algorithm or whatever that is relevant to all the people who have been trying to watch my developer stream. So yeah, so today's topic is context pilot. Okay, and for those people who are not aware, please feel free to quickly take a look at GitHub, and I think there you will find KR Shumali, which is me by the way, and there you will find context pilot RS. That's the project I have right now. Okay, and I'm going to talk about what was the intuition behind it, why did we start doing it at all, was it even required and all. Okay, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so very first thing, right, what is context pilot? Like this term first of all came from, of course, the meaning of context, right? So where I work right now, right, there was a thing like, in fact, in any company wherever you work, right, there are always some terminologies that you don't understand, and they are very, it's not about English or particular what does it mean in particular language, but what does it mean in terms of the context, right? For example, let me give you this ID. Let's say I say, hey, there's an ID column in each DB. Okay, and this could mean UUID, okay, it's unique ID, or it could mean something else as well. It could mean a customer ID, which could be just a customer name as well. Okay, so in another table, this ID could be something else other than instead of UUID. Of course, not the best way to give an example, but you guys understand, right? So everything has a meaning in their own context, right? And that there's this problem that I was facing every day, that I was not able to understand, okay, what does it mean here, what does it mean there, or so on and so forth, right? So this is one example of a problem that I have, right? So first of all, I'm going to talk about problems first, okay, just FYI, and then we will talk about context pilot. Okay, so that's one problem we have, okay, which is what? Context for definitions. Okay, and it's what, so generally what's the solution, right? What are the solutions that you take when you are developing, right? The solutions that you take are probably, hey, who to reach out, so whom to reach out, whom to reach out. Okay, and the next is what you do is probably try to find its usage. Okay, so that couple of things that you do, right? For example, if I'm searching for, hey, what does variable x mean, I'll try to see, okay, x plus y is used, right? So that means x is a variable that is used to add, and if you take a look at the data type, it's these both are integers. Okay, then you understand, okay, they are probably used to add each other or something like that. Okay, so similarly, right, so whenever you're trying to understand something, there are two possibilities that you do. Is first of all, you reach out to someone and say that, hey, can you tell me where to look at? This could lead you to another documentation, right? This could lead you to a definition file as well, right? It could lead you to different things. Similarly with finding its usage, right? Or you can go directly and try to find its usage. Okay, it could be references, it could be anything else. Okay, so there are these steps you take. So that's one problem we have, right? So what's the problem number two? Let's talk about problem two. And this is a huge problem, right? So a lot of people, like, I am a backend engineer right now, but I'm like to call myself more like a software developer rather than backend or full stack or something. But yeah, technically I'm a backend engineer, right? So what do we do? Generally, you have a build file, right? And in a build file, you have so many things. It could be dependency list, right? It could be a dependency list, or it could be anything else as well, right? Now suppose I'm a new developer, right? I'm a new developer, and there's this new developer who comes in and he's given a task. Hey, you have to implement a new class. Okay, you have to implement a new class. Okay, implement a new class and add it to a flow. Okay, so add it to a flow. Now what do you generally do, right? What do you generally do? So whenever we write a class, of course you will go and ask, hey, where can I find the test cases for it? Are there any existing tests for it? If you're a totally like a new person to this code base and you're not so acquainted towards code reading, then you will go and ask someone. So that's like, let's say, ask someone as well. That's one option. It's not a shame to ask someone. First of all, please don't think that. Second option is, of course, you will try to just use LSP, right, and use your intuition as well sometimes, and try to search for the class name and test in the suffix, right? So a lot of code bases have their own formats of testing, right? So the test classes names are generally matching. So you'll go to a test folder, you'll try to search for similar classes that are being implemented, right? And there could be a different class that is doing a similar job, right? Or not similar as in like the same job, but similar job, right? And you'll try to find the test cases for it, and then you'll try to follow the same format and add a new test case for the new class. That's one thing you can do using LSP. You can find the references as well. Okay, I'll just write references here. Okay, sorry if you guys cannot understand my handwriting, but I'm trying to be more vocal about it. As I said, my finger is not fine, so I don't want to type a lot. That's it, right? So when you're adding a new class to a flow, right? But then you created a PR. So after this, you created a PR, okay? And what you do is you're gonna ask, hey, I've created this class, but where should I call it, right? But there, if you think that LSP will help you, it's not true. LSP cannot help you here, because now you're looking for totally different context. What is the place where this is called? Like, for example, if I'm saying that, okay, there's a main function in some other file, okay, if name equal to main, okay, Python context, right? Python syntax. So there you are calling this class name, okay. I mean, sorry, there you should be calling the class name ideally, right, for this to work. But you don't know because it doesn't exist anymore. Or maybe you need to add it somewhere. Maybe you need to add it to a GitHub workflow or anything else as well. This is possible, right? How do you figure this out? There's only one way. You ask someone. Okay, and of course, if there's a documentation and all, they will point you to a relevant code or point to a documentation, hey, that you can watch these steps and all, you can do all these things. Okay, but what if I say that there's a better way to do it? And I'm going to tell you this thing. I mean, I didn't tell you the solution so far, but I'm going to tell you the solution now. Okay, and the solution to all of these problems always start by looking at the context. Okay, and the context is more like a history over here. So I'm assuming that every people are using Git for this. Okay, this is a safe assumption I made. I don't want to, as I said, whenever I'm trying to solve a problem, I try to solve a use case where like I see that 20% of the people face it. Okay, now rest 80%, I'm pretty sure that there are still 50% of those who will appreciate this problem. 30% will be like, no, we don't use Git and all, you should have done this and that. For those people, I would say that, okay, I have a solution ready. If your new system has this feature for commit history, we can use it. Otherwise, I will slowly like increment if people find it. So if rest of the people find it useful. Okay, now see what happens. Okay, generally what you do in open source, if you remember, of course you can go to GitHub PRs, right? And you will see, okay, then there's these open PRs, there's closed PRs, right? And there's one PR that is add another class. Okay, and you are asked, let's say you are asked to add class C. Okay, you will try to search for if there's any label or there's any author that has created another class D. Okay, you'll try to search for that PR. Okay, and then you'll see, okay, what are the files that that guy changed? What are the files changed? Why? Because for each PR to go through, and assuming that they have a workflow that will not pass, or even in a relevant PR, let's say they will split the PRs into two PRs, right? Let's say, okay, first is this implementation of D, okay, and the second is registering D into workflow, into flow. Okay, so there are two steps for it, right? Now what do you do generally, right? You will go through this PR, you will see, okay, this guy has changed this file, this guy has changed this file, and this guy has also changed a build file where he has added a dependency because there are new imports, right? If you guys know about Bazel, as an example, you're trying to import from a new module and you want to add it as a dependency. As an example, you can do that, right? Simple things. Okay, now similarly over here, you will know that this guy has added a test case, and test case, where does it exist? Okay, over here. That's it, right? So you know that these two things were missing from your PR, and you will go ahead and add them, right? So that's what I wanted to do. Like, honestly, this is all what my goal was, for us to try and understand what are the contextual files to the current file. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, now let's go and try to see. So you have a class A. Okay, okay, let's stick with class D. D is what? others have already implemented. Okay, let's say implemented class. I'll try to be explicit here, otherwise people will forget. So this is already implemented class. Okay, from someone else already. Okay, so someone else has already implemented this class. Okay, and they have defined Kush, and there you go, streams on Twitch. Okay, as an example. Okay, now what this is doing, return true. Okay, let's say this simple class we have. Okay, now what I'm saying is you have another class which you are writing right now to write. Okay, and what you're doing is you're writing define KRS, which is also me, by the way. And then whatever you're doing over here, I don't want to waste time over here. Okay, now this implemented class is running somewhere and you don't know where. Okay, you can do LSP again, that is different, but in terms of dependencies, you can't really search. Like in build dependencies, you will not know where this class is needed, because sometimes just the path will be added. Okay, for example, if it's in from twitch.k.a import implemented class, right? So in the basal dependency, it's highly possible that they have twitch a as a module and just a library name over here. This is a basal kind of format they follow, right? Now you will not understand because implemented class is nowhere used. So LSP cannot be used here. LSP cannot be used here. Okay, because the class is not used. You can't refer it. The string is not found. As simple as that, right? Now how will you do it? Right? Of course you will go to the folder, you'll try to search for files. But then why? Why can't I just run a command and it will give me the most relevant files for this current line number? And that is what it does right now. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how. So context palette, right? Context palette, what was it trying to solve? Context palette was trying to solve these problems where you, first of all, you're not sure what are the relevant files. Okay, so what are the relevant files? Relevant files. And to what? To what? It could be current line, it could be current file, and it could be a section of code as well. Because it's highly possible that what you want is you want the most relevant files for the current line number, right? And it's highly possible that what you're looking for is what are the most relevant files of your current file. And it's also highly possible that you're looking for the whole class. Okay, what are the most relevant files to my whole class? In that case, you can just select the section of code and you should be able to do that. On Twitch, Frog Fennec says liking the face cam. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We're talking about context palette today and we're trying to go through what is the motivation and what are we trying to solve. So hope you can join along and feel free to ask any questions, by the way. Thank you so much for liking the face cam. Yeah, appreciate it. Right, so this is one thing you're looking for, relevant files. But what's the another thing, right? A lot of times this problem comes at whom to reach out. Relevant authors, not just files, right? And this is what you're looking for, because hey, you do you guys remember when while working you say, hey, do you know who has the context on this? Do you know who can I ping for this particular file? And you will try to look at git commit blame and you will try to find, okay, this person is converted, like so this person is recently committed, but that commit is basically about moving file from one A to B, right? In that case, that person is not really helpful because he has just moved, right? And then you would be looking for, okay, then who committed before this? It's a lot of like manual stuff. Why can't we just have a command for it and it will give you a list of authors that could be helpful to you and you can just use them. Okay, so that is what it helps. As I said, it has two things: relevant authors and relevant files. Okay, I'm going to use r dot, that means relevant. Okay, so these are the two things that we're trying to solve. And for what cases? It's current, as I said, current line and current file and section of code. Okay, all right, so these are three things we are doing. Okay, and let's talk about the algorithm over here. Now again, I honestly believe that not everywhere you need AI. Okay, not everywhere you need AI. Some problems can be solved algorithmically, and we should stop trying to make them complex and stop trying to delay them further as well. What my target was to solve this problem first with my intuition. I did not search this on Google that, hey, has anyone did it already? If anyone has done it already, I don't care, because I was doing it for learning. Okay, If I would have searched it online that okay, this guy has already done it, it would have kind of reduced my motivation. That's how I generally work. So it's my personal thing, okay? So, and I would probably not even look if someone else is doing it because I want to keep making it better. I'm pretty sure I'll make it better than others in very short, long time. Sorry, not short. People have worked hard for their own projects as well. There's no competition, but yeah. So now the thing is, right? What's the algorithm for it? Now, you guys know, right? So my idea was in each PR, let's say a file is changed. You look at all the last n commits. Last n commits, okay? This is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and up to Cn, okay? So you're looking at all these commits, and then you try to look at further these, like I'm just doing blame myself in the code base. That's it. And then I'm trying to find what are the files that were changed. Files that were changed in this commit. Okay? You guys understand what I'm doing? So I'm saying if I'm changing a.txt in a commit, let's say commit hash is there. Okay, you guys understand what is commit, right? When you push a lot of changes together or even a single change, whatever, right? It's possible that you are pushing changes for multiple files together. It's possible that you're pushing for a single file. I don't mind that, right? So a.txt you're pushing and then you're shifting. In the same commit, you also pushed build. Okay, and if I'm at a file where I'm looking for what's the context for a.txt, then you will see that okay, build was used once, then there's another commit that has used build again, so you'll do +1. So I'll just take a count of all these things. For how many commits, that is a user can decide. As a user, I can decide okay, how many commits I want to go past. It could be 5 commits, it could be 10 commits, it could be 100, it could be anything, right? So over here, my pointers, okay, let's keep it default to 5 because this is of course going to take some time going through git commit of let's say a section of code or even a current line of code as well, right? And then what I'll do is I'll again, this is nested loop, right? For each file, then you will do it again for all like just 5 times, and once you're done you will just have okay 5 5 5 and so on, right? And then you'll take a count of all of them, and all I do is I take a hash map. So I create a map of files, like for example build, right? Build was stored, for example, it could be 10, right? There was another file, let's say a test file, test.py. This was changed, let's say 9 times, and so on, right? And there's another file that's just b.txt, for example, and it was changed only 1 time. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll collect all these outputs in the descending order, of course, and I'll show it to the user, right? But what I've also done is I've just trimmed down the output. Trim down the output because you don't want to show this one, because b.txt is probably just very small number, right? For those people who just want to see the most relevant files. So for them, they can always set a parameter that I just want top 5 files. I just want top 10 files, for example, right? And if there are 10 files and you know they all are even one, it will show you that. Okay, so it will give you the context. Okay, so that's how it's working right now. Okay, same thing for author, same thing. Like what, who is the person who committed? Yeah, so let's say KRS committed to this commit hash. Similarly, again KRS committed. Similarly, another person committed who is KRS again. So I'll just store their name and I'll from so I'm just, if you guys know that this git log when you do, and with a lot of they have a lot of flags. Okay, so when you do that, right, you can use those flags and you can parse it down, and you can also have an output format here, and you can parse these logs, okay, and store the output. So like that's how I'm getting the author name, that's how I'm also getting the file name as well and all, and that's how it's working right now. Okay, so that is it. Mostly this is the whole project, this is the whole idea, very simple. The only thing that you have to implement it. Okay, now where's the challenge is something I'm going to talk about in the next video. For now, I think this gives you a good brief idea. If you guys want to see the output now, let's actually I can show you. I'll again, as I said, I can't type much today, but just to show as an example, I think I can do this much. Okay, let's just hide this now. I don't think we need it. Let's probably go to config nvim, right? Nvim, I'm just going to go to my config, I think surround.lua. No, I should remember something that I've changed. I think nvim tree I've changed a lot, right? Over here, right? let's do context pilot. So as you can see, I'm doing context pilot, context current line. So I only want for the current line. If I hit enter, there you go. It's showing nvim.lua because there's no commit to it. There's only this commit to it, only committed once. I need to find some file that is, okay, let's go to our context pilot only. Do I not have, okay, perfect. Sorry, let's go to a bigger where I have good commit history. Over here, let's this thing we can do. So in this I want context pilot, context current line. There you go. Right, so it gives you these two files, src main.rs and gives you cargo.toml, right? Because maybe when I was editing this, I also had to edit cargo.toml and I also had to edit main.rs. Okay, this makes sense. Let's go to get this and let me do this for the whole file. Now this time I'm not doing for the current line, I'm doing this for the whole file. You see it says config.rs and config.impl.rs, and if you wonder why is it only showing you two lines, I mean two files only, because I have set the threshold here. So right now it's not exposed to users, but it will soon be. Probably I forgot if it's already there. I think I just need to sorry, it's already there. I need to just copy. Okay, cp target release, there you go. And if I do it again, and let's do this for the whole file, context pilot context, tada, and you should see elgo loc.is and git command elgo.is. This is fine, right? You guys understand what's going on? So it is giving you two files. I'm pretty sure I'm setting up the last many commit hashes is 5, as I said. So I'm looking at the 5 last commit hashes. db folder is not relevant for you guys. Max items in each db file is also not relevant. Output count threshold is what you guys should look for. That's 10 over here. I am curious why it's not showing me what I want. So let's just try to do this. Did it not? Okay, cargo build release. Sorry, I'm very slow at typing today. Okay, all right. I think I need to check what's going wrong. Probably it's not using the command I wanted it to use. Somewhere it's just using, or maybe I forgot. There you go. It's using here config file count threshold. It's there. And this is fine. I think this is fine. Trim result. I'm doing trim result here. So this is where I'm doing trim result. Okay. So where I take and I just make sure that okay, it should not count the threshold. So the count should always, I mean, not count the threshold, not cross the threshold. So see, sorry guys. Cool. Maybe not this. I just want the, yeah, okay, I want this, and let's just print it again just for the sake of it. Input string is this. So it's actually definitely working, but probably the threshold is not setting properly. So I can quickly fix it along with this stream, guys. So good for you all. You guys get to see, where was I? Okay, let me do commando. Println, not here. TJ. I was not here, I was not here, I was not here, I was not here. Okay, this is all old. Let me search for println, this thing, this thing, this thing. Yeah, there you go. Right, let's print the threshold as well, because I would like to see the threshold. Okay, threshold is 2. So threshold is definitely 2. That means the code is working fine. I mean, the algorithm is fine. Trim result. Now it's coming from config object.file count threshold. So, and this is usize config output. This is the default I have. I'm pretty sure I'm setting it somewhere. Where am I setting the config? Config stream. Oh, I think I have a config stream, by the way. I forgot I have a config stream. Where was it? Config file name. Okay, there's your context pilot.json. Oh, awesome. I think it should be in context pilot.json. There you go, guys. Sorry about this. So over here, I know you guys cannot see this part, but let me zoom in further. That's a lot of zoom. Oh, I should not have zoomed it that much. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see now, but overall this is file count threshold. Okay, you guys can see now. So I can now set it to 10 maybe, right? So that we see all the files. And let's do, I don't need to do cargo build release. I can do this again. There you go, right? So if you change the config file, you guys see what's going on. So if I change the config file, if I trim the result to 10 now, you're seeing the 10 output files there, okay? And again, you can go back and do context pilot .json and you can change it to, let's say 2 I want, okay? Once I do that, tada, only 2 files. You see this output? Only 2 files. I mean, I hope you guys are impressed with what's going on, right? So yeah, I can just probably do git stash now. I don't want all these changes. Now I can do cargo build again and cp. Cool. Let's now go to db.rs again and let's do context pilot. Current line. You see only two things, right? Algo loc.rs and db.rs. Okay. Now let's go to context pilot.json and let's go file count threshold is 10 right now. Sorry guys, I know you can't see because of my face, but let me bring my face down. You guys can see what's going on now. Yeah, for now I just put myself down for you guys. Kind of things I do. Cool. And now I can do context pilot, context for the whole file I'm doing. This time you see, so seeing all the top 10 files down, there could be, there not necessarily you'll get 10 files, right? It could be just the whole project contains 2 files, but it will always have maximum 10 files. Okay, there you go. That's it, right? And you can also have context pilot authors. So when you do that, only I've been working on this, so that's why you see this here. But if there are people who are working on it, then you'll see it there. You guys understand what's going on? So that's it about what we have been doing. I'll stop now. And if there are any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments or in the Twitch streams as well. But thank you so much for attending, whoever was here, and thank you so much for watching the video, whoever is watching this on YouTube. I will come back in another video where I'll talk about the implementation and also talk about how we have implemented database sharding, why did we use JSONDB, and all these things. There are a lot of nitty-gritties to it. So please hang around, keep an eye on YouTube channel. Hope you guys like the content. Thank you so much for joining, and have a good night, have a good day, have a good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are, whoever you are. Thank you so much. Please like the content and make sure to subscribe if you like the content. No force at all. Not a YouTuber at all. Right now at least. Take care. Thank you so much.